No, every child is has a desire to take care of their parents.
Yeah, so let others have that desire and fulfill it.
No, but as a child yourself, you want to buy something for your mother.
Anyway, let's move on. But I've got an advocate for women here. I really know that if I had known that, I was not going to bring you back, because the person who brought the question, can a couple enjoy marriage when the wife is earning more? Probably he was experiencing that, or he has seen other people experiencing.
No, the point I'm driving at is, before you just say my wife is evil.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gota Men's Issues. My name is Lawrence Mazenge, and I'm glad to be back on this episode on our reloaded season, where we are looking at various topics again, and sometimes we are revisiting topics from our previous season. Like on this particular topic, we got it from our comment section when we were doing our previous shooting with our guest here. Remember, our in the past we used to be live on Facebook, so we got this question where a question asked us, can a couple enjoy marriage when the wife is earning more? So we just decided to bring back the guest who was in that panel, and the guest who was speaking to us in that topic, Dr. Henry Jaji. I'm not going to introduce much about him, but I think you know him already. So, Dr. Jaji, welcome to the program, and what is it that you have prepared for us today?
Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers and everyone else. I hope you're having a very good day. I hope we have a very good conversation today. Maybe trying to see if there is hope for a man who is in a marriage relationship where probably the wife is earning more. We are going to look into whether finances or money is of any essence in a relationship. I mean, can a relationship be sustained if the wife is earning more? Is money the pillar of a relationship? I think those are the issues that we will dwell on.
Thank you. So, looking at the question that we have here, can a couple enjoy marriage when the wife is earning more? Do you really think the financial dynamics in a marriage impact the overall relationship? And if you think so, how does the financial dynamics impact the relationship?
I think they do, especially in the long run. I think in the short run, I don't know if I'm clear when I say long run or short run, but in the shortest time possible, I think a relationship can still stand with the wife earning more, especially if there are signs that the husband is doing something to rectify the issues. But in the long run, I think there will be challenges if it's the permanent thing that the wife is earning more in that relationship. I understand that a marriage can be based on love, but we need to be very honest with ourselves. Money is of essence. Money is very important. Money gives control. Money gives you, a platform to exercise your duties as a man, and it is important that as a man you try as much as you can to make sure that you are bringing enough for the family to function.
All right. So, in your opinion, why is it that the society might place so much emphasis on the husband's role as the primary earner? Like, why is it important? Because in the society right now, people are preaching the gender equality, 50-50. In universities, if we are looking at Zimbabwe, where we come from, girls are allowed to enter the university with lesser points for the same program as men. How then do you keep on expecting the men to continue earning more in a society where the advantage is being pushed for women to take over or to overtake? Why is it that important, or why, in your opinion, is the society continuously placing so much emphasis on the role of the husband as the primary earner when the ground is being leveled left, right, and center?
I am not too sure which context you want me to respond to this question, but if it's in the context of an African man, I think our society, the way we are raised, the way the society expects us to be, the way our fabric is. I mean, the man remains the primary provider in a home. The man remains the head of a family. The man remains the one who is expected to make sure that he gives direction and he provides. And to be a provider, you should be earning enough to be able to provide. To be a provider, you should be earning enough to sustain that family. So before we talk about what the society expects from you, but if you regard yourself as the provider of that family, then you should do everything that it takes for you to be able to also provide. If also you take a leaf probably from our ladies, from our wives, from our mothers, from our partners, you would realize that they enjoy having their husbands earning more than them providing. It brings safety to them. It brings comfort to them. It gives them confidence to have a husband or a partner who is able to provide for the family. So I think for men not to lose their role as providers in those families, they should be earning more. And when you look at what the society expects from men, I mean, as long as you are the head of that family, I think the society is okay to expect you to provide. The issues to do with making sure that we empower the girl child, it does not take away the role that the man should take in his family. Society is empowering the girl child because the girl child has been disadvantaged for a very long time. But that is not to reverse the roles within a family where the husband is supposed to be taking care of his family and providing for that family. So I don't think we should take that as an excuse that now that the girl child is being empowered, so husbands should not take care of their families because the girl child is being equally being empowered. I think the men should keep on assuming their role as the head of the family. They should keep on assuming their role as the main provider within a family setup.
So let's say I'm a young man, I want to get married. Maybe I've got a certificate in aged care, and I'm in love with a woman who has a master's in engineering. Should I go ahead and marry that woman? Because obviously I'm probably never going to be able to earn more than her. So are we saying men should be careful even from before they get married? Because if my heart points me to a woman who is earning more, that is very bad and that is very dangerous. According to what you are saying, I'm a man, I'm supposed to earn more. What do? I'm a young man who wants to get married. My heart has been pointed to a lady who has got a master's and I only have a certificate for. What should I do?
I think there are two issues. The first issue is if we were to borrow from Mageto Youth lingo, they would say Tana Zauno Shikira.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, your heart should align with your pocket.
Okay.
When your heart takes you where your pocket cannot sustain, your heart is misguiding you. Because you are putting yourself in a trap that you cannot sustain in the long run. So there is no love where you cannot provide. You can't just say you love this lady and you cannot take care of that lady. You cannot say you love your family, a family that you cannot provide for. So your love should be backed by actions. Your love should be backed by your pocket. Your love should be backed by your capacity, and your love should be backed by your ability.
I think we are not understanding each other here. Provision and earning less are two different things. But I could be earning. I'll give you your example. You are an economist. Your wife is a lawyer. And we just wake up one day here, and the government is now saying, all lawyers, we have got a shortage of lawyers. Lawyers are now earning $1 million per year. which is something that probably will never happen to you. What's going to happen to you? Because are you going to wake up and then start saying, I have to start earning more than here? Because I want you to get to our point. We are not. There's a difference between failing to provide and earning less. I could be earning less than my wife, but providing enough for my family, but she earns more. So what will you do? You wake up tomorrow, lawyers are now earning 10,000 times more than you do, and the government is saying these ones are on demand. What do you do? Are you going to run away from your marriage?
No, the truth of the matter is we only get to a point where we discuss who is earning more, who is earning less.
Okay.
If there is enough to take care of the family, if you have enough to make sure that you provide for your family, then the issue of who is earning more falls away.
Okay.
We are not saying if God blesses your wife to the extent that she's earning more, then you have to divorce her. What we are saying is, as a man, you need to be able to do the bare minimum to make sure that bills are catered for, to make sure that whatever you're bringing on the table is significant enough for your wife not to complain, is significant enough for your wife not to end up feeling that she's carrying the weight of the family on your own shoulders. Okay. She needs to realize that the man is here, he is providing, even with or without my contribution, he can still take care of us. So the issue is not just about who earns more. The issue is about how much is on the table, and are you able to take care of your family? Are you able to at least meet the bare minimum expenses of that family? I understand life goes in phases. You may be going through a rough patch. That's why I was talking about long run and short run. But as a man, be seen to be doing something to make sure that you are improving your situation. Be seen to be doing something. Try some things to we are trying not to just, because when we are looking at this topic, it's not just coming from an issue of just saying who is earning more. We have other issues that are the other underlying issues that are causing problems. When a man is working hard, when a man is trying his best, I don't think there is a lady who will still say he is not doing much. But the problem we have with our men, especially in the diaspora, is you earn less, you seem not to be coming up with any ideas, you don't even want to improve yourself. You are just there, you are comfortable with how much your wife is earning, you don't want to improve yourself. There is no evidence that you are doing anything to make sure that you also improve yourself. Then that's where problems emanate from. But if you are doing something, I've had quite a number of guys who have issues in their relationships, and when you look at the major catalyst of those problems is where the man is not doing much to improve his situation. So I don't think we need to look at this issue in the lens of just the figures. Who is earning more, who is earning less. Okay. It's more to do with what the husband is doing or how much he is trying. Because when you look at it, we all come from home. Sometimes you are degreed. You come here, you don't want to improve yourself. You come here, you are choosing jobs. You don't want to do the dirtiest jobs that other men are doing. You need to quickly adjust and try to do even the meanest of jobs, because when you get the money, it doesn't show where you get it from. You still just have to provide regardless of what you are doing. But we have a challenge with men who come with their ego. They don't want to do other types of jobs. They just want to stick to their jobs, and sometimes those jobs are not paying much. You are expected as a man to pull your ego down and do what needs to be done so that there is food on the table.
All right. Let's talk about feelings. How might the husband feel if his wife earns significantly more? Just the feelings in general, besides, let's say, the cultural. Because I'm feeling like there is a cultural pressure, like you are saying. That's what I feel. But when I look at the Western society, I can give you an example of the former New Zealand Prime Minister. Was it Jacinda something? She was the Prime Minister of a country. The husband was just a DJ. They never had problems. They never had challenges.
Probably they never had problems in public.
No, I'm saying they never had problems because when she became prime minister, they were not even married. They went on to have a child after she became prime minister, which probably means to say they did not have those problems and challenges. So what I'm saying is it an African thing? What is really happening? I just want you to talk about the feelings. How might the husband feel if his wife earns significantly?
I think it's
more?
I think it's a challenge because men have ego. We are driven with our ego. We are also driven by pressure from our peers, and I'm sure if you are in that situation, I'm sure it will have a toll on you. But it's how you react to that, how you respond to that, which is important. It should not have a toll on you to the extent that it disturbs the peace in your house. It disturbs the peace in your relationship. It should whatever emotions that you get from it should drive you to do more. Should drive you to try and motivate you to achieve more. But I think it's just natural. Men are bound to have negative feelings about it, especially if the wife shows it that she's earning more. If she deliberately rubs it into you, then you'll have issues.
Yeah. So what can you do, especially to make women understand, or is shandere kuti kana murume ari kutambira mari yakawanda ndeyedu zvokuti ndinototi ndauya nayo toisa patebhuru toionera pamwe chete, but kana amukadzi akutambira yakawanda ndinogona kutotya kutaura kuti amai vangu varwara kumusha because anenge atofunga kuti pangu roda kuti zvinoshanda here kana yangu yakawanda ndeyedu but kana yemukadzi yawanda ndeyake panopisa hatifani kubata ipapo.
I think those issues are beyond the amounts. Those issues depends on how you relate as a couple.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with who is earning more. Because even when she's earning less, if the foundations in your relationship are not that strong, you may even have those issues even if she's earning less. I've heard quite a number of people who say in the regardless of her earning more or less. But I think as a couple you need to have, I remember in the last episode we spoke about a financial language in a relationship. It's very important to have that language where you are able to separate your other issues with issues to do with money.
Okay.
When you have your income, you should be able to know what to do with the money, regardless of how you are feeling for each other on that day.
Okay.
It should just be, if maybe principles that are laid that you both understand, whether you are there or not, your spouse just knows how you're going to use your money. I think you need to get to that level as a couple to understand that the money that comes in your house is for both of you. But the moment you start not having that common purpose, it becomes difficult. I think it's something that people have to start as soon as they start families. But most of the challenges that we have is when the husband is the breadwinner, they tend to ill-treat their wives and partners financially. And
that one I feel like is just an assumption. I feel people just think people want to justify things that are wrong.
No,
because for me, I personally think that yes, it could be 10% of men who were ill-treating their wives when they were breadwinners. But most of the men that you hear talking about this issue, they never did that. They were probably those men who would bring all the money on the table and they plan together.
Yeah, but one thing you need to understand is if there is no transparency, there is always kufungirana. There are times where you have $100 in your pocket and your partner is thinking that you have 150.
No, we are talking of people who don't pay sleep yet we are you check and the money is there. Probably the wife has got the cards and the men they are to pure marriage protection. The transparency was there, but still when the tables overturned, one day it became an issue. Because if you just look at it from an assumption, you they deserve it. But let's talk about a man who was doing everything right.
Yeah, in that case, I think now the issue is not about money. I think there are other underlying issues. Maybe there are cracks in their relationship.
Okay.
And because the way I understand our partners is sometimes they don't show you when they are not happy.
Okay.
They will wait for an opportune time to then show it.
Okay.
So she may be trying to address an underlying issue with money. Probably you were bringing all the money, but maybe you were giving restrictions on how it could be spent. A big issue is
you only want to find problems with men. Are you not admitting there are women who can whether
no, they are, but we also need to understand that in most cases she is trying to do something that she was not able to do when she didn't have money. Because most men, not all of them, but some, they have issues with regards to taking care of their in-laws. Your wife may not be able to confront you that probably she's not happy with how probably you're taking care of your parents or siblings to some extent. And when the tables turn, she now has the money. She probably feels that it's time that she takes care of her spelling. Because sometimes you marry a girl who is just coming from school. She may not have had time to take care of her parents. And
are you saying this girl take care of?
No, every child has a desire to take care of their parents.
Yeah, so let others have that desire and fulfill it.
No, but as a child yourself, you want to buy something for your mother.
Anyway, let's move on. But I've got an advocate for women here. I really know that if I had known that, I was not going to bring you back, because the person who brought the question, can a couple enjoy marriage when the wife is earning? Probably he was experiencing that, or he has seen other people experiencing.
No, the point I'm driving at is before you just say my wife is evil. My wife is evil. She doesn't want to share her money. You may need to go and look. They should be, or they may be, and that is. More likely that there is an underlying issue that you need to address.
But so to this one, Tomboti angasingadi kuchengeta nate zvara. Pangaruzimbabwe ainyima mari yake. What advice do you give to this guy as over tight? What advice would you give to the guy? Should he walk away?
No.
Or should he just endure?
No, I think there are two ways to deal with this. The first one, they just need to sit down as a couple and iron out their issues. And the next one is for him to try to look for other avenues to up his income. Just try, and like I was saying, it's not about earning more than your wife. Just make sure there is enough from your end, so that if she says she's not going to bring much from your own side, there is enough from your end to sustain the family.
Okay, all right. And then on in such a scenario,
there is another issue before you go there that I wanted to also address. Whilst I'm advocating for couples to put their monies together, I'm also of the view that they should be giving each other pocket money.
Okay.
Especially for us men, there are people who probably want to assist that your wife may not approve of.
Okay.
You have relations, probably a guy you grew up with who is suffering, and you want to assist them. When you tell your wife, she doesn't even know who we are talking about, and you feel that you have to send them $100. To you is important. It may not be important to her.
Yeah.
So I think couples should learn to give each other pocket money and not ask how that pocket money is used. They should be able to give someone the liberty to use their pocket money. The same applies even to your wife. She may want to send money to her sister who is probably married, and you are not approving of it because you are saying the husband should be taking care of his wife. But for her, it's important. There should be that level of some level of financial independence that is needed. that solves some of the issues that we have. Because when she has that, no matter how little it may be, but she has the independence to use it. No matter how little it may be, but he also has the independence to use it. And not only said, I may have a sister that is not in good books with my wife. She remains my sister. I should be able to send $20 and my wife not bother that you sent to that aunt that I don't like.
So you think if she finds out that you sent to the evil aunt, you still have a proper good marriage?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you agree,
even if it's coming from your pocket.
If we agree that we are not going to ask each other how you use the money, then I mean that principle should hold.
Okay, that's fine. So I wanted to ask, in a scenario where the wife is earning more, how best can we check the financial or so can we tackle the financial responsibility, bills, or savings, and so?
There are two options that work for different couples. The first option is they just share their bills equally. I have seen couples that do that.
Okay.
They just share their bills, and there are other couples that share with their fraction. Maybe the husband takes 3/4, the wife takes a quarter, or what have you. Some they just put all the resources that they have in one pot, and then they share their bills from there. But I think whatever option that you take as a couple, I think you need to agree on it, and stick to it. All things being equal, I would advocate for people just to put their resources together. It helps for them to develop faster. But if there are reasons why you can't do that, I think it has to be clear that he's taking care of these bills, I'm taking care of this of so and so bills.
And how important is it for couples to have open communication about the income disparities? And to become men's advocate, because panapa mrungu advocate warumi. We don't sit down to talk about the income disparities. So how important is it to sit down and discuss?
It's important, but that's the main reason I was saying, as men, we should try to do all we can to be, when you come to the table, to be on a safe side and to have the power to negotiate. You need to bring more. So you gave me an example where you said it's out of your control. How do you respond to it? Of course, you can't divorce your wife because she's not earning more. It's very important for people to have open communication with regards to their finances. But to me, what I think is more important is not really what you are bringing, but what you are doing as a man. Show something. But one I think that's what the problem is. But
okay.
But because Yambo
Alright.
then there are problems. So you may say I'm advocating for women, but what I'm advocating for is for men to work, is for men to be doing something, is for men to network.
But yeah, you still didn't answer me my question properly. That's why I'm saying you're advocating for women, because we are living in an environment where the gender gap is being filled up. That's the honest truth. Women are getting opportunities that are the same as men. You can get women that are engineers. We get into seasons. The monetary issues are seasons, like what is happening mostly in the diaspora. An engineer in Zimbabwe a person who was an engineer probably in Zimbabwe earns less than a nurse here. But we know back home that their salaries could not be compared. But here, because probably nurses is shift work, you go to work at night, you go to work weekends, you go to work on Sunday, it then makes the money more. That's why we are saying these things you can't then continue to compete to say, I still want to earn more than my wife. Is there a point where you're going to say women must also probably sit down and just see that this is seasonal, or this is something that has been impacted by the environment, rather than that your husband is lazy? He's working 24/7, you're growing older as well. You can't be continuously picking shifts. Unofenda uri babasa ukadza usifonera utsiemtora arawa ino takamudza kuti enda kumba akaramba kuenda. How do you, what advice do you give to women in that scenario? Because this is not, yes, you are talking about a person who can be lazy, we are talking about a person who might, there are some who kana kauya muno mmadza ngokudeza ndoda kuti masarangu ndakachita kumba kana ngari manager ndoda kuita chi manager ndakasunga tie. Those ones, yes, you can tell them, guys, ngatitongoita here. We are talking about a guy who, the circumstances are different now. This is a straight shift. Maybe he was a banker back home. He comes here, he gets a job in a bank. You work Monday to Friday. There is no night shift. There is no holiday shift. There is nothing, which probably means the wife earns more. Not because the husband is lazy, but the working environment is different. It's not permitting for them to do that.
I think,
can't you talk to the women and say, it's okay for him to bring less in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, if I were to talk to ladies, I think yeah, if the situation is like that, I think they need to not to put too much pressure.
I've won the advocate. What's my the advocate when you are
on their husbands, but going back to the husband, I understand the situation is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you are in a very difficult situation, but my point still remains that if you are continuously trying to improve yourself, especially if you are still in the age where you can improve yourself, it's difficult as you move towards retirement. We cannot expect you to be working towards a career change or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are still young, if you are my age, you still have a lot of time.
Well, you think you are still young?
Yeah, you still have a lot of time ahead of you to even do a career change.
So you are looking at yourself and you think you still have time.
I still have 2-3 decades to work productively. So you can still do much in 3 decades to productively work. But coming back to reality.
So you are planning to retire at 8, yeah?
No, I still have a whole 3 decades. But if you are in that situation, it's very important to communicate.
Okay.
And sometimes, you also need to let go some of the privileges you may have as a husband.
Okay.
Where you come from work, probably, because especially if the wife is the one who is doing night shifts and all,
mm-hmm.
you then need to chip in and try to also assist with also chores and all.
Mm-hmm.
Not then expect her to come from work and do everything whilst you are there. In most cases, that's where problems emanate from.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think as a couple, you need to be able to sit down and understand your situation.
Okay.
Because when you decide to come here, you will have decided together. Right. When the wife probably goes for a nursing course, you will have decided that together.
Mm-hmm.
You knew before she even started studying there should be any more.
Yeah, you knew about it. Can also earn more. But she will be having
I am madzimai anofanira kurega kuita mapapiro iwayo.
Ndoparashitaura advocate wemadzimai ngotaura navo no sales situation nescenario titenge takasafa tese tikaendesa nochikoro tese and then wakuena more wakumena mapapiro. We are going to look at this topic.
Ipapo pane challenge, but I was mainly focusing on men. But I know sometimes you can just have a very difficult partner.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
I was saying we're going to look at this topic with my panelists, because we are seeing a lot of men who are now scared to develop their wives. Because we've seen, I think, recently, some couple of months ago in Zimbabwe, we saw a guy who killed himself because he took his wife through school, university. And then when the wife graduated and she got a job, she started saying to him, "You are not my level." and are not my type. The guy was working flat out thinking to chiriva machete. This is a scenario I told about to understand.
Yeah, that scenario, nyanyo konzerwa neku improve one side. When you are improving your wife, try to also improve yourself.
Alright, chazoibata to pamwe chakudaidza mungu mozotibata because bamwe mari haisi toita the competition because my wife awana nzvimbo panursing school inini name security guard, and then ndotomeka sure kuti paukutoendawo kunursing school ikoko kana kuti kuuse ikoko tichistruggle nemari kudaro, it means I have to go. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But
we'll look into that.
But I just gumira grade 7 ndoenda mutaura kuti watananza ungo usingafanira kusvikira.
Ayo ndakamnyoresa kusvika form 4. Anyway, this is not the issue today. All right. Okay, so let's say I've got a woman who doesn't have a problem with earning more than I earn, takagara mushe and everything. How do you think kuti the cultural or societal norms actually influence the perception of your wife earning more than your husband? That's not a problem now.
But how should the first things first is how does the society know how much we are earning in our household? It shouldn't be like that.
Society knows I'm a security guard and my wife is a nurse. Society knows definitely someone else more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I know. But I think your relationship should be able to surpass pressure from outside, especially coming from an understanding that you said the wife does not have issues with earning more. I think when you have open communication, when you are okay, the two of you, I think you should be able to sustain that. The problem comes when one of you has got issues with the setup.
Okay.
It's easier for society to then influence any bad things in that relationship. But if the two of you are okay and you think you can work it out, I think it should work.
Okay. Is there a way we can break traditional financial roles in our marriage? And can that lead to healthier marriages, or does it create more challenges?
I think if the wife is okay with her assuming the responsibilities of earning more, and I think in that way the traditional roles can be broken. But as long as one of you feels that they should remain as they are, then there are issues. As men, my understanding is because it's going to no matter how small or how few.
Saka
panozonetsa ndepekuti maane shoma motanga kuiswinyirira kuti shoma yanga isikuona kuti ruenda kupi yakuperera kudoro yakuita sei, then becomes a problem. But I think if the woman is okay with it, if there is open communication, if you are planning together as a couple, some of these issues are budesteric. Anonyanya buda kana pane tumwe tunetsa twekuti amucharonga mese mari yacho pamwe wazoitora avaunza yakawanda abusing the money, wakutaka kunoita gambling kana kuti wakutaka kuita maprojects asingabudiriri, washandisa mari yemuridzi, ipapa panozotanga kunzi ndingoshanda panapo mari yavo neizvozvo zvekuti hauchabatsirawo pamba. Vamwe vabva kubasa vakaneta, you're expecting them to do everything. Vabva kubasa vakaneta, they also still have to take kids to my games and all, and you are not like pulling yourself up to also, because it's not only your contribution is not only financial in a home.
Okay.
You need to contribute even on chores, on other things. Take time to do homework in a
Saka kana ndichotambira mari shoma ndofanira kutodzidzira kutobika sadza.
Basa sadza tangatitoitwira munge muchitoribika chero mama muchitambira yakawanda.
But zvinana homework takara totomboitisa, but zvinana sadza izvozvonobidza. But hazviiti kuti usagonobika sadza iwe uchitambira shoma.
It now becomes a problem. Chingogona kungoprepare mamwe mameals kana kugara waisawo muriwo pamoto kana usingagona kuubika. Ungoisawo maplates mudishwasher. Hembe dzaiswa mulaundry wongoisawo muwashing machine.
Alright, anyway.
Nekutowaridzawo mubhedha kana mamukoka. Vamwe vamukira, vamwe vachabva ku night shift. Varoda kusvika kunorara, imi mangomuka kunge tsuro.
Because no one is more and not to quando mwana uskorara here. No one is three part of Banyamura. And it's all squad Banyamura. So it's no one.
Well, we'll get soon.
Anyway, you touched my next question. I wanted to ask, are there any specific strategies or habits that can help couples to prioritize their relationship over financial differences? Can we override the financial differences?
If everything else in a home is fine, if you have open communication, if you plan your things together, if you are praying people, if you pray together, if you make sure that you are helping each other, I think the issues of finances falls away.
Okay.
Because my finances are not nature, kana asirokwana. But where probably every couple, apana couple in a marriage no kwana tokwana.
Okay.
But you can see progress at the end of the day as a couple. We did this. We tried to do this. That helps.
Okay.
But you have bills, mama bills, and all those, it causes a strain. One thing we need to understand as men is we are logical beings, whereas our partners, they use my feelings more than logic. So very small issues, alarm more than probably us. But so your ability to also sit down and break down those issues, we can do this. Take initiative as a man. My challenges are so I think this is how we're going to solve them. My ideas, not just money. I think those are also important issues. It's not reduce the fears that your partner may have. Because sometimes probably she doesn't know how best that man can be used to tackle the challenges that we have. But just bringing those ideas to say, we are going to do this and this and this and this, giving that leadership, it also helps.
Okay. So that's what advice here, new Dr. Jaji. Dabosama, kumpozama, barabara tumetuma projects, parowera. Dabosama iti, you know what I mean to know zamazama, especially investing back home, unongwa believe is kwa kuti mdara ukumazano ukamwita 50. Panozopera gore unongwa kutobata 1000 pamwedzi. Ndo wapamba ini yaroera ndambozama kunocheresa matsime wapamba ini yaroera. How best can we navigate the issue of how best can men navigate the pressure of bringing more? Because in the end showman without you want to do some of my projects as an economist,
I want to advise men, my fellow brothers, to desist from kutora Maria Mumba, regional investor for Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Our economic environment is actually okay for those projects to be sustained. I think if one wants to have more projects, try to have projects here.
Okay.
If you are to have projects in Zimbabwe, plan for them very much. And for those projects, because in most cases, are we as much as you're expecting. Unless the project you always affect when the cash flow issues, affect when my policy changes and all. But any project that is affected by any policy change, I think men should not go that route.
Yeah, I think there I agree with you. That's no I agree. Tishitanga project, tishitanga program. To Zimbabwe no pisa gentlemen. Listen to the economist here.
Yeah, it's very.
It's always. I've heard so many people thousands and thousands of dollars. Some their life savings, some their pensions, because they want it. They simply don't know why they should have to do something at home. Yeah. So let's try and do something here. If we can't, better keep the money in the savings.
Do not think about shares.
ungobereka muchara ayo mashares achinogona kunyura futi kutonyuriwa wesiko. So yeah, so thank you for that advice. So looking at a couple iri kuita navigate this dynamic yekuti baba vari kuenda mari shoma on the namai, what advice can you give them?
Just stay together. Try to address your problems together. I think when you are faced with challenges, the best remedy to every challenge is for you two to be sticking together.
Okay.
Tantrums as men, I think mama tantrum ingoma meds and try again to negotiate, because there is no way you can turn it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to take some punches, not to take them to the extent that I can't take it anymore.
Okay.
But it's something that is sustainable. Try to talk to your partner. Try to plan together. Planning is very critical.
Mm-hmm.
If you plan together and try to research our platform ideas. Which we over doing my ideas, which is our I'm so unofunga. I can also do mara unafunga foot, then it becomes a problem. But if you are able to then be on the upfront and giving ideas and sharing my challenges, rega kuti munhu ari kuunza mari yakawanda haana futi shoulder to cry on. You should be there to offer support, and you should be there to encourage your wife. And handisukuti madzimai edu kana achitamba namai akawanda tokadiscourage and make it difficult for them kuenda kumabasa. Let's encourage them.
Mamamboti kana mukomana achida musikana ane akaona ngabva aregedza.
Vakomana vasiyana nesu takarora kare kana matebhos azochinja, but vakomana ngavatanedza vanosvikira vachivadika. But isusu taamo kudhara, unenge wakatotana kudhara uchisvibira dzozoreba wamo haungachidzitema kuti dzipfupike, ungatozotora chituriwo kuti urebewo kana to try to manage it. But on a serious note, I think mushonga for my couples is being able to engage each other, being able to plan together and try to stick together even when you're in problems.
Right.
It's very important.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jaji. Thank you for coming back on our program. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions pertaining to this topic, just like you did last time, make sure you bring in the question, and we would surely make sure we bring in Dr. Jaji to come back here and talk to us again. I want to thank you. I don't know if you have anything else to say before I close this program, but thank you so much for coming. Finally.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think my last words in the let's be in our relationships. It's not all about money. Love is more important than money. Communication is more important than money. Staying together is more important than money. Planning together is more important than money. Because without communication, without love, without staying together, no matter how much money you have as a couple, it will not help. You will not enjoy it. Let's just be a good couple. Let's love each other. Let's take care of our families. Let's believe in God, and everything else will fall into place. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dr. Jaji there. I'm not going to give him another chance to speak, but I just want to throw in some humor. I saw you celebrating the new Trabablas roundabout in Zimbabwe, and I saw you writing that we also need Iruka Chivende Street.
No, not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you have any contributions, like I said, please bring it on to our YouTube channel, put it in the comment section. Follow us on all platforms. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitter, follow us every platform of social media that we can think of. Just follow us there. And I also want to encourage, if you live in and around Melbourne, especially around the western side, we now have pop-up soccer or pop-up activity. we have created Gota Foundation, where kids from the age of 7 to around 18, children from age of 7 to 18, they come up, we do some activity, depending on the day. Sometimes we can do bike rides, sometimes we can do soccer. Most of the kids that we have right now, they love soccer. So we're doing soccer, sometimes we do basketball, whatever it is that you can think. But it's not just the activity. We also talk to them through those activities. We invite people who can address various other topics to children, because most of the challenges that men are facing right now, so we are believing that if we address the issues with our children right now, it's definitely going to help them when they become men. So follow us on Facebook, Gota Foundation. You find it on Facebook and you follow. That's we are going to be posting our pop-up. We will pop up everywhere in Melbourne, but right now we are doing it here in the western side because of other logistics. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Maringat Sanga Aniswe and Vanu Afari Mzimbomo. Thank you so much.
I am human, did not feel our pain. Kutendere murume, I see motion, kutinda kapa mukota. Kutendere murume ndinende fu I see motion. Tingwe nguva ndefu tinotra, pasina no ndiwota.